Hi everyone, my name is Nelia and I am here to talk about lymphoma. It's a type of cancer that I am going through at the moment. It's not the best topic, but I feel that is one that needs to be spoken about because when I started this journey, I didn't find a lot of information out there. So I decided to create this channel. So if you want to know more, stay tuned. So I guess I'll start with the definition of lymphoma according to the internet. The lymphatic system is the body's disease-fighting network. It includes the lymph nodes, spleen, thymus gland, and bone marrow. The main types of lymphoma are Hodgkin's lymphoma and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And what I have is Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is the most common type of lymphoma that there is. So I wanted to do this video and subsequent videos to talk about my journey. In this one, I decided to talk about how I got to even get diagnosed with lymphoma. So in 2018, in November timeframe, I started developing this mild itch. And I said, well, it's just a regular itch, so I'm not gonna worry about it. So I didn't worry about it. It was mild, it wasn't a big deal. So it was fine. Time kept passing by and the itch kind of started getting more intense. And as it started getting more intense, I said, this is not normal. It's not normal for my body to be itching so much and all the time. It's not normal. And I started not being able to wear a certain type of fabric because it just irritated my skin a little more. So I decided, okay, let me start going to the doctor. So I went to the doctor, and the first doctor that I saw was the dermatologist. They said, oh, this is probably the skin. We're gonna give you some antihistamine to stop the itching, and it's gonna work. We're for sure that it's gonna work, so we're gonna give you this type of antihistamine. So they gave me some antihistamine. I took it as prescribed, and I went home, and guess what? It did not work. I was itchy, still the same, and nothing changed. So I went back and I said, it's not working, it didn't work. They gave me another type of antihistamine. And the thing is that they kept sending me away. And they told me, here, try this for a week and then come back and see. But we're sure this is gonna work. They were so sure that the antihistamine was gonna work. And so they gave me another flavor antihistamine. It did not work. They gave me another flavor. It didn't work. They gave me a shot. It didn't work. So they said, okay, maybe this is neurological, sorry. And they sent me to the neurologist. And the neurologist did some tests, asked me some questions, and took some more blood work. Nope, none of that worked. They didn't even put me on any medication, which I'm grateful that they didn't at that point. Well, you know, it was so bad that I went to the emergency room multiple times because I couldn't sleep. I would cry. I wouldn't feel good. It was just horrible. And I would go back to the doctor at the VA at the time. I'm a veteran. So I went back to the VA and I said, it's not working. This is not working. And they said, it's maybe stress, because at the time I had lost my job and I had a new job, and they said, oh, this is because of stress. So we want you to go see a psychiatrist. So I went to see a psychiatrist. She did blood work on me and she prescribed medication for me as well. Gabapentin, that is the medication that she prescribed to me, which made me very, 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 very sleepy. So I started to drink coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't like coffee. It's just not my cup of tea. I prefer tea. And so she prescribed gabapentin, and I took gabapentin, and I was on it, and nope, my itch did not go away. I was still itchy, but now I was extremely sleepy. So I had to drink coffee in order to stay awake. And even though I was sleeping during the day, at night I wasn't sleeping. I had insomnia. It just didn't work. I would eat anything and anything under the sun, and I wouldn't gain any weight. I was actually losing weight. So for me, the side effects of this lymphoma was extreme itchiness all over my body, and I lost weight. So then I was out of my mind. I didn't know what else to do. The doctors were not helping me. I had seen multiple specialists, so many specialists, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. But in my blood, it did say that I had an inflammation in my body. And when I asked my doctor, it says I have inflammation in my body. She said, yeah, but we can't do a scan to scan your entire body. We can't do that. That's not something that we do. So this was January, came February. I was still itchy. No relief in sight. I was out of my mind. I started losing my hair. I started having, of course, like I said, I had itch all over my body. So I was itchy, and you can see the marks still. I still have the marks from it, because when I itch, you know it, I scratched 100%. So I still have the marks in my body, and I hope with time and some vitamin E or something, it's gonna go away. But that was what happened to me, and it was crazy. I couldn't drive, guys. I couldn't even drive because I was like itching. It was like so bad. I couldn't type. I work with computers. I couldn't type. I couldn't concentrate. It was so bad. So I told one of my coworkers, this itch is so bad. I can't control it. I have to be under AC all the time. My body has to be cool. It has to be cool, or, like I can't function. My summer was ruined. I wasn't going outside. I couldn't go outside because the heat made it worse. So I couldn't go outside. So my summer was completely ruined last year. It was just non-existent for me. And it was really, really bad. And I'll add some pictures and some videos to show you guys what happened and how bad it was. After all of this specialists, I started working at Fordham University, and I have health insurance now. So I was a veteran, so I was going to the VA and I didn't have health insurance. So now once I got health insurance, I went into doctors, and again, it was the same ordeal. You need to go to the dermatologist. So I went to see the dermatologist. She said it's not a skin issue. This is not the problem. Send me back to the primary doctor. The primary doctor said, I'm going to send you to see another specialist. So I started doing some Googling on my own and some research. And then I talked to one of my coworkers who told me that he had the same itchiness all over his body. So I said, well, what was your issue? And he said it was an enzyme in his liver. So when I went and looked at my blood work, one of my enzymes was off. So I decided to call the liver doctor specialist. And so I called him, and he was like, you did a pretty good job diagnosing yourself. I'm going to give you this type of medication. And so he gave me this type of medication, and he sent me again on my way. And because he sent me on my way, I said, okay, I'm done. I'm going to Dominican Republic. Hopefully over there, they're going to tell me what's wrong with me and not send me away for every week, because it's been almost a year and I'm still in pain and this is not working. So before I left to DR on my trip, it was a vacation. It wasn't even for all of this. It was a vacation. But before I left, the liver doctor called me, and he said, I know it's an unorthodox time. It was like 8 o'clock. It was late. And he said, but I noticed that your blood work is not normal and there's some tumor markers. And I already ordered the test for you and your insurance already approved it. So I hope that you're being seen somewhere because I'm really concerned. You should really do this test. So I heard him. I heard him again. There was no other explanation in my mind. So I went to DR, and DR told me the same thing. You should do this test. It was the same test I had already scheduled here in the States. So I went on my trip, and I'll insert a picture for you guys to see because I had fun in that trip and it was great. And then after I came back from the trip, I went and I took the test. And after I took the test, a few days later, I went to the doctor to get the results. And the doctor plainly told me, you have lymphoma. It's a type of cancer. You're gonna have chemo. You're gonna lose your hair, and you're gonna need a good support system, and you're gonna need a good health insurance. And I was like, okay. He said, I'm going to put you in contact with an oncologist, and he's going to be taking care of you from here forward, and you're going to have to do some more tests. And I said, okay. And that is how I found out that I had cancer, lymphoma. And it was crazy because it took forever to find out, 1 year to find out what was wrong with me. And meanwhile, I was miserable. Not even understand the level of misery I was in. It was really, really, really bad. And I was glad to find out what was wrong with me. I was glad that somebody finally found out what was wrong with me. And at that point, I didn't think of, oh my God, I have cancer. I thought, oh my God, finally, I found out what was wrong with me. And the journey after that, obviously, it was different. But that is how I got here. That is how I found out that I had it. And it was stressful because I had started a new job and I had to take a lot of time off to go to all of those appointments and to find out what was wrong with me. And it was like choosing between my job and my health because I had to keep going. I had to keep going to work, and I had to keep going to find out what was wrong with me. So it was really, really tough. But I finally got a diagnosis, which I was extremely happy to find out what was wrong with me. I don't want to give too much information all at once. And so I'm going to piece it out. And the next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you guys about my diagnosis, how it happened, what kind of tests that they did for me, kind of like a step by step what happens after they tell you, by the way, I'm going to put you in contact with an oncologist and you have lymphoma cancer, and what happens next. And I'm also going to show you guys a day in the life, which is just a day that I recorded everything I did, the day that I had chemo, and what is chemo like, and how long my particular chemo took and treatment, and how I'm getting through it because I'm not through it yet. So thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comment below so that I know and I can get those and answer those for you. If you like this video, please click the like button if the information was useful to you. And if you want me to release any more content, let me know, and click the subscribe button so that you know when I do. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.